JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 2nd of June 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, check us out here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So now then guys, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is actually not this one, but the Dow, we'll get to the Dow Jones, but the German DAX. And here you can see that, yes, we had another attempt to push higher, but, well, we basically are still stuck at just bang on that area, bang on this level, this previous all-time high. We did try to go higher, but so far there's kind of, let's say, it's unsuccessful, and is just stuck here for now. So to be honest, although, yes, we did climb initially above the previous all-time high near the 15,569 territory, but we're kind of back to it, and it's currently acting as a magnet. So let's see where we're going to end up being today. If we're going to stay above that area, then yes, I'll continue targeting the upside. But if we suddenly reverse and stay below it, well, I mean, maybe a bit of a corrective move lower could be possible. Now, jumping into the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and here, yesterday the index, let's say, kind of pushed higher, but then kind of drifted back down. Nevertheless, remained fractionally in the green. So, yeah, I mean, there is, of course, a chance for this one to still move higher. Given that we're still trading above the 21-day EMA, we're trading well above this upside support line taken from the low of the 30th of October of last year. But of course, we're keeping an eye on some of the levels, and one of the areas that I'm keeping an eye on, of course, is this this one right here, the 34,600. Actually, just one moment, 742 zone, approximately around there. So 34,742. That's the inside swing low here of the 10th of May. We did climb yesterday above it, but we failed to kind of stay above it. And another area that I'm keeping an eye on here is this 34,631 territory right here. If we take a look at the cash index, we'll see that the price is currently just sitting bang on that line. Well, that of course kind of creates this a bit of a careful, well, a bit of a cautious situation, because in order for us to go higher, we need a good clearance of these two levels, of these two barriers. Certainly, of course, we could then start looking at the yesterday's high, but as I would say for now, I would say that if we get a push further north above this 34,630 zone, then keep your eyes on that 34,742 territory. If that gets cleared, of course, certainly the next target is the high of yesterday near the 34,849, or we can round it up maybe towards 50. So 34,850 territory, that would be my next target if we push further higher above this 34,631 territory. If we don't, then, well, I mean, maybe a bit of a corrective move here lower could be possible. So keep that in mind. S&P 500. So I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but the S&P yesterday closed slightly in the red. But if we look at the cash index right now, we'll see that the price is jumping back above the yesterday's close, and yeah, we're currently sitting at around 4,206 territory. So yeah, above yesterday's close, but still below this other hurdle, this 4,219 zone. So as you can see so far, I mean, that level is acting as a good area of resistance. Now, let me just adjust this arrow here very quickly. So what we're going to do here is, just bear with me one moment, I need to extend this one a little bit. And what we need to do here right now is, of course, to wait for a push above the 4,219 zone. If that gets cleared, yes, then yes, higher levels could be met. We could then aim for the all-time high, which is around the 4,238 zone. But of course, if that gets clear, then yes, the sky's the limit for this one, and we could see a further push north. But at the moment, let's see how this is going to play out. I'm keeping an eye on this 4,219 zone, and if that gets cleared, yes, higher levels could be met. DXY, the dollar index. So, if you remember this morning, I talked about the dollar index, and I said to you guys that keep your eyes on it, and keep your eyes on this barrier right here, the 90.23 zone, which perfectly acted as a nice area of resistance. And we saw the hold up here. We saw the hold up actually near the 21-day EMA, but this level is near this 21-day EMA, so overall, it kind of worked out nicely here. However, what I said as well, that if you want to go for some higher levels, then of course, wait for a pop above this area, wait for that daily candle to stay above that area in order to go for further upside. But for now, we're just playing the waiting game here. Yes, there are some indications that the US dollar could push higher, but we need, like I said, we need that daily candle to stay above this area, and then yes, we could aim for further upside. Silver, of course, initially drifted lower, and this morning we were hanging near this upside line, and what I said that in a way it could go lower, but a break of that upside line, and for me, preferably, I would like to see it drop below the 27.40 territory right here. But to be honest, we didn't even get the break of this upside line. So far, the upside line is doing its job, and it's providing good support. But even with the upside, well, actually, I would prefer to wait for a push above the 28.23 territory right here, and then we could go for some higher levels. At the moment, guys, let's be very careful, let's be very cautious, and let's keep an eye on these two levels, because like I said, yeah, on one hand, we still have this, we still have a commodity that is trading above its upside line, which kind of indicates the direction, but certain confirmations are still required, and let's keep an eye on those levels. Now, Bitcoin Cash, and yeah, to be honest, similar story as with the other cryptos that I looked at this morning, and basically it seems that we are kind of coiling up here a little bit. So let me just draw some lines here. So one of which is this one right here, and the other one is this one right here. So basically, it seems that we are forming somewhat of a triangle pattern here, and yep, in a way, whenever we see something like that, we need to wait. We need to wait before we get a clear breakthrough one of the sides of the triangle, and we see at least the daily candle staying outside of this triangle. Because, for example, here on the 23rd of May, here as you can see, well, when it kind of comes into this picture now, yes, we had a nice, beautiful false breakout here, but of course, then we didn't have that. We didn't even think that we will have a triangle, but at the moment here, yes, we're now having that one. We are having that formation. So let's see which way the rate is going to break out to, and then we'll consider the next short-term directional move. Oh, and by the way, coming back to the cryptos, basically also keep your eyes on for this one's BCH USD. Keep your eyes on DXY. Because again, if the dollar starts pushing higher, then well, we could see the cryptos against the US dollar kind of trading lower. So keep that in mind. Now, USDCHF. So guys, USDCHF also looking very attractive. And when I last time covered this one, and I talked about it last week, I said to keep your eyes on this downside line. And for the downside, I needed to see the daily candle remaining below the 0.8954 territory. Well, we got a false breakout, but we didn't really get the daily candle staying below that area. So, which means that instead we had a nice reversal here. We had a break of this downside line, so in a way there is first indication that the bulls, it seems like the bulls are getting ready. But to be honest, to be a little bit more careful and cautious, I would prefer to wait for a push above this barrier right here. And this one's it's marked near the highs of the 19th and 20th of May. And that level is around the 0.9048 zone. So keep that in mind. This is the level that I need to see a break off in order to go for some higher levels. Some of you probably could start looking at a little bit of that a little bit earlier. And let me just recycle one of these lines. You could keep an eye on, for example, this level here, the high of the 28th of May, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the highest point of yeah, that's the highest point of last week. Let me just quickly confirm that. I mean, so yes, that's correct. So basically, you can keep an eye on that one, and if that level gets cleared, then yes, of course, higher levels could be met. But as I said, just to be on a little bit more, maybe on the safe side, a push above this 0.9048 zone, yep, could do the trick for more buyers. If you like this level here, slightly lower one, the 0.9030, which is the high of last week, then yes, you could kind of start looking at some of the upside already from here, but definitely don't forget about your stop losses, guys, because we like these scenarios here that that's shaping up here on USDCHF, but we also like to be very, very careful. GBPNZD. So the pair is pushing higher nicely here. So basically, let me just kind of start fresh. Let me remove all the drawings. So as we can see here, after kind of reversing to the upside here at around mid-December, the pair started pushing higher. It's now trading. It's still trading above this upside support line taken from the low the 7th of January. So in a way, since kind of the beginning of January, the pair has been forming higher lows, but it seems that it's kind of struggling with the higher highs. So because we can draw this downside line taken from the high of the 29th of March. At the moment, I would say from the very, very, very short-term perspective, there is a very good chance of this one moving further north, especially as long as it stays above this tentative short-term upside line taken from the low the 27th of May. Just to be a little bit more on the safe side, you could keep an eye on the high of the 28th of May, so which is last Friday, so which is near the 1.9609 level, approximately around here. If we clear that level, then yep, my next target is this downside line taken from the high of the 29th of March. And finally, oh, and by the way, with the downside, in terms of the downside on this one, well, I mean, I would prefer actually to see a drop below the current lowest point of today, near the 1.9473. And although this could end up being the lowest point of this day in general, but well, the day is not finished, so we always leave an element of the doubt, guys. So for now, this is the current lowest point of today. And finally, EURUSD. So this one's a tricky one because, yeah, it broke this upside line. It drifted lower, and this is what I said to you guys. Keep your eyes on the DXY today, and well, this is the result we got. We got a break of this upside line, and as you can see, we got a move almost to this 1.2161 territory. I spoke about this level this morning, yesterday, and basically a couple of days ago as well, and basically, for now, the same game plan remains. I mean, yes, we got a break of this upside line, so that's kind of great news for the sellers. However, to be a little bit more on the safe side, a drop below this hurdle, below this 1.2161 territory would be required, just to be a little bit more on the safe side, because at the same time, we would get the rate placed below the 21-day EMA, and more sellers could join in. So keep that in mind, guys. So, but for the upside, if by any chance this one somehow reverses sharply to the upside and climbs and stays above the 1.2243 territory, then this is where we will aim for some higher levels. So guys, that was a very quick wrap-up and a quick review of some of these instruments. I can see in the chat room here, Evu is asking about the upside line. This upside line, well, again, if you're referring to the euro dollar, if it's still valid or not. Basically, at the moment, if we apply the logic that if it got broken, then it's no longer valid. But the only issue here is that yes, we broke it today, but we also broke it here. For example, on the 28th of May, and we climbed back up, and the next day, just bang on this line was the low of the 31st of May. So in a way, it respected the line. So basically, we got just a false breakout. Let's see what's going to happen here. If the candle's going to stay here below this upside line, then, well, I mean, yeah, we'll get rid of it. We'll get rid of this upside line. This is going to be no longer valid. But at the moment, I mean, I just want to see if we're not going to get another false breakout, like here, for example, on the 28th of May. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's the case with this one, and for now, it seems that we will be able to get rid of it. But we probably could have said the same thing here on the 28th of May. But as you can see, yeah, it climbed back up. On the next day, although there was a point where it drifted lower, but it actually drifted all the way here towards this upside line, rebounded from it, and pushed higher. So kind of let's wait a little bit. Let's not rush into anything. And for now, yes, there is an indication that we could see maybe a bit of a decline. However, like I said, let's wait for our confirmation break below one of these levels. And but as I said, guys, I mean, you know yourselves better. You know how to approach the markets maybe better. So yeah. You do whatever you're comfortable with, guys, but in any case, just always have your stop loss in place. So thank you very much for joining in and watching this one till the end. Really appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, guys. I really do. So thank you very much. If you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, with my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye-bye.